Today we're going to be looking at one of my new favourite RSI strategies, so let's get straight to it. Hey trader devs, I hope you're going extremely well. My name is David and welcome to my channel where I go through trading strategies that I find on YouTube and on the web, and then I code them to debunk the bad ones and find the good ones. Today we're going to be looking at one of my new favourite strategies that I found on YouTube. I've been playing around with the settings for quite a bit now, and if you're part of the Discord, you may have seen that I've updated my boilerplate and given it many more features that work extremely well with this trading strategy. I'm also going to go through things like the replay feature in TradingView so that we can look at how we can find better backtesting results. So I thought we'd do all of that today whilst creating this trading strategy. The thing that I like about this one is it works very well on multiple time frames. I've tested it on Bitcoin and Ethereum, as I do always. A couple of smaller per cap coins as well. Works extremely well. Should work pretty well on Forex and stocks as well. But the best thing is to go straight to my computer and test it all and see whether it actually works. I will go through the trading strategy as normal, bit by bit, so you can actually trade it manually if you don't want to join our group, but you can always join the group and get this trading strategy, connect it to bots and everything else. Use my boilerplate and you can find all of those links down in the description. Let's get over to computer and have a look. Right, here we are on my computer, as always giving credit where credit is due. I found this trading strategy on tradingrush.net, YouTube channel, a very well YouTube channel, known YouTube channel, I apologise, that back tests manually a lot of trading strategies. This one was a ADX and RSI. Of course, I love the ADX. It's my real true love. I believe the ADX is one of the best indicators out there, especially as I found a couple of new recent add-ons, which I'll discuss in a minute. And yeah, so his trading strategy discusses the RSI. So we're going to be adding the RSI to our charts, and I'll go through the trading strategies. Now, the only two indicators that we're going to be adding is the RSI and the ADX. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the RSI and the ADX. I'm going to discuss the ADX very quickly afterwards. So you need to search RSI by clicking the indicators up here. Literally go all the way down. I've got a lot more indicators than you will have because I've coded lots of RSI strategies. But this is the RSI as we get it on TradingView. And the RSI has recently changed quite a lot on TradingView, but yeah, so there you go. Right, and then we have the ADX, which is a ADX, the average directional index, which we're going to click here. And then I'm going to discuss that very, very quickly. One indicator that I did actually forget to add would be the 200 EMA. The 200 EMA is going to be used for trend direction. So when we're above the 200 EMA, we're going to be taking longs. And when we're below the 200 EMA, we're going to be taking shorts. So I'm going to click back here on indicator here, and we're going to be adding an EMA, which will be pretty simple to find. We're going to click here. It's the moving average exponentials. We're going to click there, and I'm just going to set this up as a 200 EMA. We're going to add it to the charts. We're not going to change much really, just adding that, and there we go. Right, perfect. Okay, let's have a look at a couple of these entries. I haven't actually had to change much on the RSI or the EMAs. Like I said, the EMA is 200. The RSI, there are ways of making it slightly stricter. You can actually change the levels of the upper band and the lower band, meaning the oversold and the overbought areas. You can change that to 75 and 25, which makes the entries just a little bit more stricter. For the example today, I'm going to leave them where they are, and then we'll back test to see which one's the best using code, like I said a minute ago. One last thing that I did change was this ADX. As you know, we add a line, which is a line here, and we're looking for entries where the ADX is above that line. Now, whether it's short or long, it makes no difference whatsoever. This actually just tells us that the market is not in consolidation areas. So when we're below that line, we're not making any entries. When we're above that line, we're making entries. I have actually made an improvement to that myself, as you will see in the boilerplate a bit later. I've actually decided to add an EMA to this one as well. Now the EMA, as you can see, has been added to the RSI as well, but with the ADX what we're looking for is more of a dynamic line, and as we cross above that EMA we're actually looking for entries, and when we're below it we're actually keeping out because it's in consolidation. If you look at the chart here, you can see that we've just crossed below that EMA there, and as you can see the market is pretty much consolidating, so it's very good at finding those entries. Okay, so let's have a look back at the RSI. Now the RSI, as I said, has its oversold and overbought entries. We're looking to enter when we come above this overbought area, but we're actually going to be looking for a long, which is strange, I know, but this is part of the strategy. So we're actually looking for our entries here as we cross over this overbought area. Surprisingly enough, we're actually looking for longs when we're in the overbought area. The reason being is the strategy considers that there is a little bit more left in that market that we will be taking, and it's a little bit more confirmed as it gets up to the top here. And then as we come down below, we're actually looking for shorts. The other thing is this new EMA line that's been added by TradingView, which inspired me to add EMAs to all of my strategies, like this one, the ADX, the flat market, and things like that. We're actually expecting the EMA to be below our purple line, which is the RSI, whilst we're looking for our entries, because as you can see, as we come across here, let me just remove this one here to add a new one. As we're coming across here, we've come across that line and we've got our entry, which would be around this area. But as we cross over that EMA, this potentially means that the actual the bull trend or the upwards run is actually over, because we're crossing over that EMA. And as you can see, it also, very much like the RSI one here, is very good. So I guess the best idea is to have a look at some of these entries to see how they would work. First of all, I'm going to look at this long entry here, which we've identified. So as always, I'm going to be cherry picking. This is just to show you an example, and then afterwards I will code it so that we can use the backtester and backtest correctly. Okay, right, let's have a look at these entries. Right, first entry is going to be this long here. We're going to add a long position to our market. We're looking to be above the overbought area, so just here. We're looking for our EMA to be below our purple line. That's absolutely perfect. And we're also looking for the ADX red line to be over the yellow line. So that's perfect. We have our entry here. We're going to put a stop loss at 1%. I will be testing the ATR. If you're following me again, you'll notice that I am using the ATR a lot more often recently, because it means that we can move these trading strategies between pairs much easier. And then our take profit is going to be at a risk to reward of 2. So this one would have been a win. Okay, I'm looking for a short now. As you can see, we are below the 200 EMA, so we're looking for shorts here. We're looking for the RSI to come back into this oversold area just here, which is absolutely perfect. We're waiting for the red to be above the yellow, so we have a absolutely brilliant entry just here as well. There's me clicking on the wrong button once again. Okay, so we're looking to be just here. This would have been our entry just about here. Looking for a stop loss of 1% here. Probably could be less, but we're looking for 1%, and we're looking for a risk to reward of 2 as well. Perfect. As you can see, that is another perfect entry. There would have been a couple more entries just here as well. The red would have been over the yellow. So there's quite a few entries in this downtrend here. So as you can see, it seems to be quite a good trading strategy. I'm going to be adding things like trailing stop losses, trailing take profits, so that we don't miss out on taking profits, and also protecting better our stop losses. But I'll go into all of that with the boilerplate in a minute. Okay, so first things first, let's go and code this, and I'll be back in a minute. Let's go.
Come on, David, and once again he's gone to code a new strategy. He'll be back in just 5 minutes. RSI and MACD. If he doesn't run into any bugs, there will be a new strategy. Come on, David, hurry up. Come on, David, show us what you got. Come on, David, our patience running out. Come on, David, show us you got?
Okay, I've left that to optimize a couple of seconds. If you don't mind, if you have any trading strategy ideas that you would like me to code, don't forget to put them down in the comments below. I read all of your comments and I try to reply as much as I possibly can. So yeah, but if you have anything that you would like me to code, please don't hesitate to put them down in the comments below. Right, I'm going to get back to optimizing and then we'll discuss that trading strategy. Right, here we are back at my computer. I've finished coding this one. I've also optimized it to a trading strategy that I would personally like to trade myself. I've optimized this as best as I possibly can so it'd work on a couple of sets of data by using the replay filter and things like that, which is extremely important. I will look at that before leaving you today so we can understand how to use the replay filters to get better trading strategies that work in longer terms. Okay, so first thing goes first, let's have a look at the trading strategy. As you can see, I have added the 200 EMA, which is just here. Obviously, as this is an overlay, we can't see the RSI, but we are getting the entries where we need to get them. This one here, as you can see, let's try and find a good entry where we can see. You can see that I've added a couple of extra features here. Normally this would be a stop loss, which was here, which I've actually protected with the ATR. So in the settings here on the boilerplate, now what you can do is you can go here and you can use a ATR stop loss, ATR trading stop loss, and you can work out where you'd like it to start from. So as money has hit a threshold, I've written 40% of the full trade. So as it's come down and hit 40% of the full trade, we've actually decided to start this trailing take profit here. So the idea is that when our price is going down, we've got past this entry here, and we're going to continue trailing the stop loss, which follows price all the way down and stays behind the price. So if price does work its way back up eventually, it will take us out of the trade at that point only. I've also added the trailing take profit. So the idea of the trailing take profit is it's pretty much like the trailing stop loss, but as we come to the very last take profit here, which would have been here, we have continued to follow price using the ATR, and as price makes a way back and comes and taps into that ATR, we actually take profit here. This would have given this entry a extra, let's have a look here, an extra 2.9% extra win on that one. So you're actually just getting that little bit extra more take profit. Now that also is available inside the inside of our settings here. So you literally have to go down to here and go to use the trading to take profits. You set a threshold for it so you know when it gets started. I've added a couple of other features as well. I've added a maximum of 1.2% stop loss. Now what that does is it maximizes our stop loss to 1.2%. Now as using the ATR, sometimes the stop loss can be miles away and give us great big stop losses, as this now blocks that to 1.2%. I've added multiple take profits, so always protecting our capital as much as we possibly can, giving us multiple take profits. So this one actually comes in at 2 take profits. We have our first take profit here and our second take profit here. We're using the ATR to work out where our take profits are. Now all of this may seem a bit complicated, but with the boilerplate, it's very, very simple to connect this to bots and things like that. But what I'm trying to do is protect our capital the whole way and get our best entries and best exits, giving us the best amount of profit. And just like I said, it's always important, just as important, if not more, risk management. So making sure that we're taking profit at the right times and not when it's too late, when we're coming back up to our stop loss. So the actual entries, stop losses are on an ATR band. So to add the stop losses, what we use is an ATR band. Bands here. This one here will probably do the trick. Let's have a look. Let's hide the indicators. Okay, so we have an ATR bands here. You can see them. I'll try and make them a little bit thicker if possible, because you can't see them very, very well. Let's have that one there like this, and this one here. Okay, so the idea of an ATR band, I've actually multiplied it using the multiplier of 2 or 3 to set these up. What we're looking to do is looking for our stop loss. So the idea of our stop loss is we're adding maybe an entry just here for a short, and we're going to set our stop loss on this ATR band just here. And as I said, our ATR is following the price. So as price is coming down, we are actually waiting for current price to come back up and tap into that band for us to take profit. Now I've used a stepped version of this so that if price does come back up and taps into it, it doesn't go too far up. Otherwise, that could cause us to get stopped out back at our position, which is not very nice. Okay, and then if I go all the way down, you can see that I've added the ADX, I've added our 200 EMA, which is this red line here, this red and green line here, sorry, this one here. I've added the RSI strategy here. This one is currently on 75 and 25 for the oversold and overbought areas. Using the MA for a little bit more extra confluence. We're using the ADX, as I said, using a new algorithm that I've added in it. I will do a video completely about that algorithm. And using the flat market is the other indicator that I'm using for this. Also used a DMA for this to work out where the flat market is. We'll also do another video about that as well, because it's pretty important to understand those kind of things. Okay, so let's have a look at the trading strategy results. I will go through everything with you. Let me pull up the back tester, as I think you'll be pretty impressed with them. Right. Okay, the first thing that jumps out to my eyes is this wonderful equity curve. As you can see, it's very, very good, always rising. The stop loss, the markdown is a little bit higher than I would like, but we are using leverage, so we expect our drawdown to be a little bit higher. As you can see, we have a 71.96 win rate, which is absolutely wonderful. A 1057% net profit, which is absolutely amazing. We have taken 189 trades. Let's go over to the David Tech dashboard here to have a look at some of the other stats that we have here. Okay, so we have 136 wins against 53 losses. The number of wins in a row was 9. Number of losses were 6. We have a almost 2 profit factor as 1.977. Let's have a look at the other stats in here. We have a buy and hold return of 387, so we completely smashed that with which is absolutely wonderful. Things like the Sortino ratio is 3.6, which is very, very good. The sharp ratio I'd like to try and increase a little bit because it's currently at 0.62. I like to try and aim for 1 for a strategy that I'm trading on live markets. If I go down to the first trade, you can see that the first trade was actually made on 2020, the first, so about 2 years ago. Right, okay, so that's 1000% for that. Now, I did also want to show you the previous data, because it's important when trading these kind of strategies to be able to test this on a pool of data that hasn't been optimized on. This has been optimized on this pool of data, so it's best to use something called the replay feature. So if we go over to our list of trades here, we can use something called the replay feature inside TradingView. Now this is extremely important if you're doing any kind of backtesting to do this. We backtest on a pool of data, and then we take our pool of data that's been optimized for, and then we try to find some other data using the same pair on a different date. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the first date here. This will load a screen. And I'm going to use this replay feature up the top here, and I'm just going to put the line very, very close to the beginning of this screen. And what happens here is that loads all of the data from before, so you'll be able to see that our first trade now was back in 2017, so a long time ago. So we have some even more data to play with. If I go back over to the overview, we can see that this trading strategy is working even on that. We still have almost a 70% win rate, 2.1 profit factor, so slightly better profit factor. We would have had a 695% net profit. Max drawdown was roughly the same. I can't pull up the David Tech dashboard because it wouldn't load here, but as you can see, the trading strategy, the equity curve looks just as good, which is absolutely wonderful. Now, another thing that we can do is try and test this on a different time frame. So I'm currently on 1 hour BTC USDT. Another thing we can do is go over to the 15-minute. So I have actually changed one or two things here because obviously when we're on a smaller time frame, we're probably going to be looking for a smaller risk to reward. I've actually put that at 2.1. It should be at 2, but obviously I've stepped up and pressed 2.1. But anyway, it's a 2.1 risk to reward. As you can see, we have all exactly the same features. We have our trading take profit, as you can see here, 2 take profits here. Just a slightly smaller risk to reward than on the other one. The other one, if I go back here, I can show you the risk to reward here. The risk to reward here was 3.2, as that one was a 2.1, I believe. Right, okay, so now let's put up the testing panel here. As you can see, on the 15-minute BTC USDT, we still have a good equity curve. We have a 77% win rate, which is absolutely wonderful. We have a net profit of 107%, a profit factor of 1.784, which is wonderful. Max drawdown is still a little bit higher than I'd like to see. The buy and hold return would have been minus 20%, so we completely smashed that and even to 107%. The Sortino rate is 2.29, which is still good. The Sharp ratio hasn't changed much. We're at 1.7 roughly, so I'd try and maybe optimize that just a little bit before playing on a live market. Our first trade would have been back in 2021 in September, so about 7 months ago. And let's use the replay filter on this one as well to see whether it gives us just as good results as on the first one here. Let's pull this down here, click that there, use the replay filter. I just have to put a blue line there. No need to look at the charts or anything like that. I know it's working. Okay, so if I scroll all the way back to the bottom here, we have now from February in 2021, and if I go over to the overview, we can see we still have a profitable strategy. At the end here, it doesn't look as good as the rest, but we have a 70 almost win rate, a 69.64 win rate, 58.95 net profit, so it's still profitable, 1.34 profit factor. So it seems extremely good as a trading strategy. Not financial advice, but certainly looks very good and will be a trading strategy that I will be certainly myself looking at to trade as in the future. One thing I forgot to say was the number of wins on the 15-minute was the 105, losses were 31, win rate, as I said, was 77%, max wins in a row was 9, max losses were 3, so absolutely wonderful, right? So as you can see, it seems like this is an absolutely brilliant trading strategy. It certainly is one that I'm getting excited about and will be probably trading on a live market myself with my bots. If you are interested in adding this to your charts or trading with bots and things like that, come and join us in Discord. The Patreon links are down below. You come and join us. We talk about trading with bots. We talk about trading strategies and all of that great stuff. I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, you can also add this for free just using the RSI and the ADX by themselves. There's no need to join any of my groups, no pressure or anything. I just enjoy sharing time with everybody and sharing time inside of our Discord. Thank you very much to Terma and Marco B for pushing me towards this trading strategy, the trading stop losses and take profits. Absolutely brilliant, and thank you to everybody for your suggestions. Have a great day, keep safe, keep coding, and I'll see you next week. Have a good one, take care, goodbye.